Today we're going to be doing a 60-minute Vinyasa flow, and we'll be focusing a lot on opening up through the heart, the chest and the shoulders. If you're new to my class style, I like to say it's following a bell curve. So we'll start closer to the ground, a bit slower, we'll build up some speed, we'll move through some flows that are one breath, one movement. We'll come to our peak posture, which is Ustrasana or camel pose, and then we'll begin to make our way back down to the ground through sort of like a cooling down series of poses, and then finishing in Shavasana. I'll take you right through until Shavasana, and I'll bring you out of Shavasana as well. So don't feel like once we go into Shavasana that you need to end there. I'll bring you right to the end. But yeah, come into a comfortable seat. Just close down your eyes. Feeling your sit bones sinking into the ground beneath you. Letting your hands fall in your lap or resting on your thighs or your knees. Lengthen up through the spine and really broaden across those collarbones. Or as I heard my teacher say today, smile through your collarbones. And just imagine one line of energy coming up through your sit bones, up through your spine, your mid back, your upper back, through your neck and out through the crown of your head. And let's just start today's practice with one really deep inhale in through the nose. And open the mouth and exhale it out. We're going to just count the breaths. So we're going to inhale through the nose to the count of 4. And then exhale to the count of 4 through the mouth. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now I just want you to keep breathing like this. Aiming for equal inhales and equal exhales. And if you want to move to that Ujjayi breath, closing down the mouth on the exhale, and breathing in and out through the nose with a slight constriction at the back of the throat. You can move through that now. And just while you're breathing, I just want to read you something that I came across yesterday that really inspired this class. Please, whatever you do, just leap towards tenderness, leap towards connection. We are all afraid to say too much, to feel too deeply, to let people know what they mean to us. But caring is not synonymous with crazy. Expressing to someone how special they are to you will make you feel vulnerable. There is no denying that. However, that is nothing to be ashamed of. There is something breathtakingly beautiful in the moments of smaller magic that occur when you strip down and are honest with those who are important to you. When you choose to slam your heart into those who ignite something within it. When you express. So express, 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 express. Open yourself up. Do not harden yourself to the world, and be bold in who and how you love. There is courage in that. So just letting those words sink in. They're by Bianca Sparacino, also known as Rainbow Soul on Instagram. And today when you practice, really feel the connection to your breath and to the movement. Really taking the chance to express yourself through the movement and the breath. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. I just want you to take a moment to set the intention for this practice. Just a few words that will guide you through the next 60 minutes. Maybe you'll take that opportunity to dedicate this practice to someone that means a lot to you. And then gently blinking your eyes open. We're going to make our way straight into Anahatasana, which is also known as puppy pose. So we're going to stack the hips over the knees, and the knees are hip width apart. We're going to walk the hands forward, keeping those hips stacked over the knees, and just lowering the sternum towards the ground. This is quite a deep heart and chest opener here. Making sure you're keeping those hips stacked over the knees. Maybe resting the forehead on the ground if that's available to you. Just feeling your chest and your armpits sinking down towards the ground. And then, if you're pretty open through your upper back and through your chest, and if your chest is able to meet the ground, maybe you'll bring your chin to the ground as well. This is quite a deep heart opener. So please don't rush into it or feel like you need to bring that chest and chin down towards the ground. Maybe you'll just stay here with the forehead on the ground. You have about 3 more breaths here. Just choosing the option that works for you. And then on your last breath, you have your chin to the mat, just coming back to that forehead. Then I just want you to slide through onto your stomach, releasing the hands by your side and bringing one ear to the mat. Just taking a moment to let that heart opener sink in. Turning your chin back through center, just tucking the toes under, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. And then making your way back straight into a wide-legged child's pose. So toes are together, knees are wide, hands are walking forward, palms down, and the forehead's coming down onto the mat. Really sinking those hips into the heels. And then making your way up to your tabletop pose. Hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. And we're just going to go through our cat-cows here. So on the inhale, we're arching the spine. We're taking the gaze up. And on the exhale, rounding the spine, pushing the ground away, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the spine, looking up. And exhale, round the spine, pushing the ground away. Just a couple more like that at your own pace. Last one here. And after your next inhale, just coming back through to a neutral tabletop, tucking those toes under and lifting the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So your hands are shoulder width apart here, pointer fingers are facing forward. You're grounding down through the full palm. Your feet are about hip distance apart. And if you can see your heels, I just want you to internally rotate your thighs, inner thighs towards one another so that your heels disappear out the back of your feet and you won't be able to see them anymore. If you need to walk your dog here, you can bend through one knee and then the other, releasing through those calves. Eventually, I just want you to find stillness here. It's a place that feels comfortable. And we're going to inhale forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward, plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Last one here. Inhale forward, plank pose, top of a push-up. This time I want you to lower the knees down, untuck the toes, and then bending through the elbows, making your way all the way down onto your bellies. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Grounding down through the tops of the feet. We're going to inhale up into a little baby cobra here, drawing the shoulder blades together. Then exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, chest and head off the ground. Exhale, lowering back down. One more. Inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale, lowering back down. Now keeping the head on the ground, I want you to take your arms out to a T or to cactus arms. Then I want you to lift the right leg off the ground. Roll towards that left shoulder and bring that right foot down on the ground behind that left leg. So that right knee is bent, the toe or the full sole of the foot is on the ground. And you should be feeling quite an intense stretch up through the right shoulder, through that through the left shoulder, through that armpit. And maybe you come up onto the fingertips of that right hand and really roll into that left shoulder a little bit deeper. And gently making your way back through center, bringing that right arm down to a T or to cactus arms. Then lifting up through that left leg and then rolling into that right shoulder, bringing that left foot, sole of the foot or toes down onto the ground. Maybe coming up onto the left fingertips so you can roll a little bit deeper into that right shoulder. And coming back through center, planting the hands down underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes under. Zip up through the back legs, lifting the knees off the ground, then making your way back up to plank, and then exhaling back, downward facing dog. We're going to walk those feet up to meet the hands at the top of your mat. And just take a little ragdoll here, taking opposite hands to opposite elbows, maybe shaking your head from side to side, bending through those knees. Maybe you'll sway your upper body. And releasing the hands and rolling up vertebra by vertebra all the way up to standing Tadasana in your mountain pose here. Now I want you to bring your feet together and your heels about an inch apart. And we're going to go through 3 Surya Namaskar A's here. So the first one we'll modify, and then the next 2 will take the full version. So inhale, reach the arms up all the way up to the sky. Bring the hands together above your head. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, plant your hands down, stepping back to plank pose, lowering the knees down. On the inhale, shift the weight forward. And on the exhale, lowering all the way down to the belly. Inhale, coming up, Cobra pose, drawing those shoulder blades together. And exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, tuck the toes, make your way back to plank. Then exhale back, downward facing dog. For 3 breaths here. 2 more. Last breath. At the end of that exhale, we're going to hop, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky, hands together above the head. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. We have 3 breaths here. 2 more. Last breath. And bottom of that exhale, we're going to hop, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Last one here. Inhale, reach up, look up, hands together. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant your hands down, step or jump back, Chaturanga Tadasana, lowering down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. And then on your next inhale, we're going to inhale the right leg up and back. And then exhale, step it between the hands. So we're in a runner's lunge here. We're going to lower the back knee down and then inhale up into our low lunge. So in our low lunge here, we want that front knee stacked over the front ankle. Hands are reaching long overhead, but the shoulders are away from the ears. Just taking a few more breaths here, feeling the stretch up through the left hip. We're going to interlace the hands behind our back. Roll the shoulder blades together. Bring those hands down the back left glute. Then expand the chest and heart to the sky. Then releasing those hands, tuck the back toe under and inhaling up into a high lunge or a crescent lunge here. So that front knee is still stacked over that front ankle. That back leg is strong. The heel of the back foot stacked over the ball of the back foot, really activating through that back quad. Sinking a little deeper. And then on your next exhale, we're just going to open twist to the right, reaching those hands out in front and behind us. And then when you're ready, taking a reverse twisted high lunge here, bring that right hand down to the back of the left thigh, reaching that left arm up and over. Sinking a little deeper into that right leg. And then cartwheel the hands down to frame that front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg up and back. And exhale, step it between the hands for our runner's lunge here. Lowering that back knee down. And coming up into your low lunge. So once again, that front knee stacked over the front ankle. The arms are reaching long, but the shoulders are shrugging down the back, so that your shoulders aren't up in your ears. You should be feeling a stretch up through the front of the right hip, through that right quad. We're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulder blades together. And then inhale and expand the heart and chest up towards the sky. Now releasing through those hands, tuck the back toes under and inhale straight up into your high lunge. That front knee still stacked over that front ankle. That back leg is strong. Sink a little deeper. And then on the exhale, we're twisting to the left, taking the hands out long in front and behind us. And then inhale, coming in to your reverse twisted high lunge here. That left hand taking a hold of the back right thigh, that right arm reaching up high and back. One more breath. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Now we're going to flow through that one breath, one movement. So it's going to be a little bit quicker, but just know that you can follow your own breath, your own cues. And if you need to pause the video to take a rest, you're more than welcome to do that. But let's get started. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, step it between your hands, lowering the back knee down. Inhale up, low lunge. Then exhale, clasping the hands behind your back. Inhale, expand the heart and chest towards the sky. And exhale, release the hands and tuck the back toes under. Inhale up, high lunge. Then exhale, open up to the right, twisted high lunge. Inhale, reverse that high lunge. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg up and back. And exhale, step up between the hands, lowering the back knee down. Inhale up, low lunge. And then exhale, interlacing the hands behind your back. Inhale, expand the heart and chest towards the sky. And exhale, release the hands, tucking the back toes under. Inhale up, high lunge. Then exhale, twisting to the left, twisted high lunge. Inhale, reverse high lunge. And exhale, cartwheel the hands back down, framing the front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. And exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. One more time here. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, step up between your hands, lowering the back knee down. Inhale up, low lunge. And exhale, interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhale, expand the heart and chest towards the sky. And exhale, release the hands, tuck the back toes under. Inhale up, high lunge. Then exhale, twisting to the right, twisted high lunge. Inhale, reverse, paying the sky with that left hand. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, freeing that front foot. Inhale, stepping back to your plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, down dog, last side here. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, step up between the hands, lowering the back knee down. Inhale, up the low lunge. And exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, expand that heart and chest towards the sky. And exhale, release the hands, tuck the back toes under. Inhale up, high lunge. And exhale, open twist to the left. Inhale, reverse high lunge, left hand, right thigh. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Then exhale back, downward facing dog. Just walk your hands back here to meet your feet. And then take your peace fingers around your big toes. Just bending through the knees here, releasing the head and the neck. Keeping that connection between the lower belly and the upper thigh. Releasing through the neck. And then releasing the hands from your toes and walking back out into your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back. Then exhale, cross that right knee towards your left elbow, planting it down on the ground outside the left-hand side of your mat. And take that left arm to the sky. So we're in fallen triangle here. Just a few breaths. And bringing that left hand down on the mat. Inhale that right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Then exhale, stepping it between your hands, coming straight up into your warrior two. So that back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. We're sinking into this front knee so it's stacked over that front ankle. Have a notice if your knee is collapsing in. I want you to think about rotating that knee out so it's in line with your middle toe here. Arms are reaching long. And then coming straight into your side angle with that right forearm on the right knee, left arm reaching long. Still grounding down to the outside edge of that left foot. And more breath here. Really rolling that right lung up towards the sky. And then inhale, reverse triangle, straightening through that front leg, right arm reaches high. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down and frame that front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up to the sky. And exhale, crossing across the body towards that right elbow, releasing it down onto the ground outside the right of your mat. And the right arm to the sky, fallen triangle here. One more breath. Then bringing that right hand down. Inhale the left leg up to the sky, three-legged down dog. Then exhale, left foot between the hands, spinning straight up into warrior two. So that back foot is in line with the back edge of your mat. You're sinking into this left knee, so it's stacked over the front ankle. Arms are reaching long. Then coming straight into your side angle here. Left forearm, left knee. Right arm reaching long, up and over. Grounding down to the outer edge of that right foot. Expanding that left lung towards the sky. One more breath. And on the inhale, reverse triangle here. Straighten through that front leg. Reach the left arm up and over. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Frame that front foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Now just like we did with the first flow, we're going to flow through this one breath, one movement. So feel free to go at your own breath pace. Inhale the right leg up and back. And exhale, crossing it to the outside of that mat, planting it down on the ground. Inhale up, fallen triangle, left arm high. Exhale, plant that left hand down. Inhale, right leg up to the sky, three-legged down dog. Exhale, stepping the foot between the hands. Then inhale, coming up, warrior two. Exhale, side angle, right forearm, right knee. Then inhale, reverse triangle, straightening through that front leg. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. And exhale, crossing across the body, releasing on the ground outside the mat. Inhale, right arm to the sky, fallen triangle. And exhale, plant that right hand down. Inhale, left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. And exhale, stepping it between the hands. Inhale, coming up to warrior two. Then exhale, side angle, left forearm, left knee. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten that front leg. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Last one here. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, crossing across the body, planting it outside the mat. Inhale, left arm to the sky, fallen triangle. Exhale, plant that left hand down. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, stepping it between the hands. Inhale, coming up, warrior two. And exhale, coming into your side angle, right forearm, right knee. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten that front leg. Then exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, crossing it across your body, planting that left foot down. Inhale, right arm high, fallen triangle. Then exhale, plant that right hand down. Inhale, left leg up and back. And exhale, stepping it between your hands, coming up into your warrior two on the inhale. Exhale, side angle, left forearm, left knee, right arm reaches long. Then exhale, reverse triangle, straighten through that front leg. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Then exhale back, downward facing dog. Walking those hands back to meet the feet at the top of your mat. This time, going into your gorilla pose. Bring your hands underneath your feet. Walking those toes up to your wrist creases. Just shaking your head, releasing through the neck. Bending through the knees here. I don't know about you, but those two little flows got me nice and sweaty. One more breath here. Releasing the hands from the feet. And walking out back to your downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, just inhaling forward to plank. And then exhale, lowering all the way down onto your belly. Just resting your hands by your sides, bringing one ear down to the mat. Closing down your eyes. And then bringing your chin back to center. Now we're going to do some heart openers here. I want you to interlace your hands behind your back.
zip your legs up so your thighs are touching, your toes are touching. Exhale all your air out. And on the inhale, lifting the head, the chest, the neck off the ground, the feet off the ground, the ankles off the ground. Imagine you're drawing your hands back towards your feet. One more breath here, lift a little higher. And exhale, lowering down, opposite ear to the mat. Now we're gonna do one more heart opener here on our belly. So you can choose to take locust pose again, or you can bend through your knees. Reach back for your feet or for your ankles, keeping your knees hip distance apart. Exhale all your air out. And on the inhale, kicking your hands into your feet for Vinyasa bow pose here. A couple of breaths here. Really kicking those hands into the feet. One more. And lowering down, opposite ear to the mat. This time I want you to bend through your knees, windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Just releasing through the lower back. And releasing your feet down to the ground, hands underneath shoulders. And then just pushing yourself back into a child's pose here. So you can take your knees wide or your knees together. Just sinking your hips into your heels. And then making your way back to tabletop, tucking your toes under and shifting your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up and back. And exhale, step it outside that right hand, lowering the back knee down onto the ground. So we're in our lizard pose here, and you can choose to stay here on your hands, or if you're feeling a little more open, you can come down onto your elbows. And you can play with rocking onto the outer edge of that right foot just to change the direction of the stretch. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck or your jaw, and just release that. Now you can choose to stay here in lizard, or if you want to take this a little deeper and add a little heart opener twist in, you can come up onto your hands, planting the left hand down on the mat, really reaching the right arm up and over, bending through that back knee and taking hold of that back foot. So you're in twisted monkey here, expanding the heart and chest towards the sky, pulling that heel towards the glute. This is quite a deep quad and hip stretch, so it's not for everyone. One more breath here. And release that foot gently back down to the mat. Planting the hands on the ground, planting the sole of the foot on the ground, and then just stepping straight back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up and back, and exhale, step it outside that left hand, lowering the back knee down. Once again, you can choose to stay here on your hands for a little bit, and if you want to come down onto your elbows if that's available for you. Releasing through the neck and the jaw. Maybe rocking onto the outer edge of that left foot. And once again, you can stay here, or you can come back up onto your hands, ground down through that right hand, twist towards the left, bend through that back knee, then catch the back foot with your left hand. So you're in twisted monkey here, really expanding that chest and heart towards the sky, drawing the heel of that back foot towards your glutes. Just one more breath here. Gently releasing that back foot down to the ground, planting your hands back on the ground. Tuck the back toes under, lift that back knee up. and stepping straight back in to your downward facing dog. Then just rocking forward and coming down onto your knees. We want the knees to be hip distance apart. And we're going to go through Ustrasana here, or camel pose. So just from the front. So our knees are underneath the hips, so they're hip distance apart. Now for the first couple, I recommend that you tuck the back toes under. And then if you want to, in our last camel, you can untuck those back toes. We want to think about keeping the front plane, so this quads and the hips stacked over the knees. So when we go back, we don't want to bring these hips back here. We want to keep them as much as we can stacked over those front knees. I'm going to take your hands to your lower back. You can have your fingers pointing down, or you can flip your palms. So your palms are resting against you, but your fingers are pointing up. And then pushing into your lower back, expanding across the heart, drawing those shoulder blades together, and then just gently releasing, maybe releasing your throat and neck, keeping those hips stacked over the knees. One more breath. Then engaging through the glutes and the quads, coming back up, untucking those back toes, and then resting the hips back on the heels, letting your hands rest in your lap. Now camel is quite a deep heart, chest and back opener, and it can sometimes feel like you can't breathe or your heart is really racing. So if this just isn't for you, feel free to come down into a bridge pose or a supported bridge, or you can do another locust or bow pose. Just something that's going to open through the heart and chest but might be more available for you. And then coming up, hips are stacked over the knees, tucking the back toes under. Bring those hands to the lower back, to the hip bone, whichever way, palms flipped or palms facing down, works for you. Really pushing into that kind of lower back hip joint area, expanding the heart and chest towards the sky. Really activating through your quads and your glutes, maybe releasing the head down. And if your heels are within reach, you can release the lower back, taking hold of your heels, and then making sure you're really pushing your hips back over your knees. One more breath here. And to get out, take one hand to your lower back and then the other. Then lifting up slowly using your glutes and your quads. Untuck the back toes, then sinking the heels, the hips back onto the heels, releasing the hands into your lap. Now we're going to go through one more like that, so you can choose to keep your toes tucked under, reaching back for those heels. You can just stay here if you're done with camel pose. Or you can keep your tops of your feet down on the ground, so we're not tucking the toes under. Bring our hands to the lower back or to the hips. Really making sure you're keeping those hips stacked over the knees. Reaching back, maybe releasing the head and neck back. And if your heels are within reach, maybe releasing your hands toward your heels, but then pushing your hips back over your knees. And then to cut out the same way you got in, one hand to the lower back, the other hand to the lower back, activating through the quads and the glutes, coming back up, and then releasing the hips down to the heels. Bring the hands to your lap. Just taking some deep breaths here. And then maybe bring the forehead down to the ground and letting the hands reach back behind you for a little child's pose here. Sometimes I like to interlace my hands above my heels. Rocking your forehead side to side on your mat. Just releasing your hands. Then making your way through to a seat on your mat. We're going to be doing cow face pose
with archer arms. So if you have a strap or a towel or a shirt, just go grab that now. We're going to bring the right knee in front of us, stack the left knee on top of the right knee, then keeping the feet in about the same plane. So they can be forward, your hips are a little bit more open, they can be pulled back alongside your hips, but just trying to keep the feet in line with one another on either side of your body. Knees are stacked as close to on top of each other as you can get. That left sit bone is really grounding. Now we're going to bend through that right elbow, then catch that right elbow with the left hand. And you can choose to stay here. This is already a deep shoulder stretch. Or if you want, you can reach that left hand around to take hold of that right hand. And I'm just going to turn around to show you what that looks like. And if you can't quite reach your hands, you can potentially just grab a hold of your shirt here. Or if you have a strap or a towel, it's exactly the same thing here. Just using that towel to close the space between your hands. So just choosing an option here that works for you while in your cow face pose. And you can stay up here. This is quite an intense hip and shoulder opener, or you can fold over those legs if you want to take that a little bit deeper. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. Inhaling back through center, releasing through those arms, planting the sole of that left foot on the ground, that left hand outside the left hip. Inhale the right arm high to the sky, then exhale, twisting to the left, hooking that right tricep outside the left knee. On the inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, twisting a little deeper. One more like that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Then just walking your hands around to your right, picking your knees up off the ground and just doing a little shimmy all the way into cow face pose on the other side. So this time the left knee is on the bottom, the right knee is on top. We're trying to ground down through that left hip, making sure that our feet are in about the same plane on either side of our feet. This time we're bending through the left elbow, taking hold of that left elbow with the right hand, or maybe we're reaching that right hand around to grab the left hand. And I can't quite make the clasp on this side, so I'm going to use my handy little towel. Once again, you can stay upright, or you can fold over those legs if you want to make this a little bit deeper. And then just gently releasing those hands, planting the sole of the right foot down on the ground outside that left knee, bringing the right hand down outside that right hip. Inhale the left arm to the sky, and then exhale, twisting to the right, hooking that left tricep over the right knee. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And then coming back through center, and then making your way down onto your backs. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee and reach the hands through, grabbing hold of the back of the left thigh, then releasing the head down towards the mat for a figure four here. You can flex through those toes to deepen the stretch, or you can think about creating resistance between that right ankle and that left knee. Gently releasing the left foot down to the ground and just swapping sides here. Left ankle over right knee, then reaching through and grabbing the back of that right thigh, releasing the head and neck back towards the ground. Flexing through those feet, creating resistance between the left ankle and the right knee. So you try and pull your right knee towards your chest, but then use your left ankle to push it away.
And releasing that right foot down to the ground. And then bringing the knees towards the chest, taking your hands around the outside edges of those feet. We're just in happy baby here, drawing the knees down towards the ground or the armpits, maybe rocking side to side. And squeezing everything in, bring your forehead towards your knees. One more breath in. And then exhale, releasing into your Shavasana here, letting the hands splay wide and the ankles splay wide. We'll just be here for a few minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Begin to become aware of your breath. Maybe bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. And gently circling your wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, drawing your knees up and planting the soles of your feet on the ground. Just keeping the eyes closed down as you roll to the left-hand side of your mat, using your left arm as a pillow. And then making your way up into a seated position, just where we started class today. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, coming back to the intention that you set at the start of practice. Did a lot of heart opening poses today, so I hope you take that into the rest of your day. Maybe telling a loved one how you feel, maybe calling someone special to you, just maybe applying that love back to yourself. We all need a little bit more self-love. I honor the space inside you in which the entire universe dwells. There's a place of peace and love and truth and happiness. And when you're in that place in you and I'm in that place in me, we are one. Namaste.